Hey, what's going on, everybody? Daniel here, and we're back with the main event. And yeah, tonight, going back to the NWA, we're hitting a little event called Chi-Town Rumble. This is back in February 20th, 1989. We're at the UIC Pavilion in Chicago, Illinois, in front of about 8,000 fans. And yeah, the main event, world title match, Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat, against Nature Boy Ric Flair with Hiro Matsuda in his corner. Alright, I'll be honest with you, this is another one of those just one-time pay-per-views they did, like Bunkhouse Stampede, and I know there's another one in there I'm leaving out. But yeah, they just did it once and that was it. They're like, fuck it. So yeah, I had no expectation. I've always heard about the Steamboat Flair trilogy. You know, they had this match, they had the best 2 out of 3 match at Clash Champions, and then another one at Wrestle War. So, but I always heard it was truly the stuff of legend. So, but I've never seen it. And I think this is one of the few times where I honestly didn't know who won the match, the first one. Like, I went into this match honestly not knowing anything about it. So, yeah, let's get into it, shall we? Now let's do the we'll do the build up first. An episode of, what was their show? It may have been World Championship Wrestling. They did, it was Ric Flair and Barry Windham going up against Eddie Gilbert. And he had a surprise mystery partner, which turned out to be Ricky Steamboat. At this point, Ricky Steamboat was pretty much in like semi-retirement. He was just like, you know, wasn't really wrestling that much or anything. And but they had a match, and Steamboat picked up the win against Flair. Of course, you know, to be the man, you gotta beat the man. Steamboat pinned him to the floor, 1, 2, 3. So guess what? He wanted a title shot. The one thing they kept highlighting big time on this one was, I mentioned this before when I did the Starrcade Fallout, was you know, the 2 different lifestyles. You know, Ric Flair, you know, he's, you know, with all the women, you know, every girl's riding Space Mountain. You know, limousine riding, jet flying, wheeling dealing, that whole, you know, life in the fast lane, lifestyle Ric Flair, as opposed to Ricky Steamboat, who was a family man. You know, on his days off, he'd much rather be at home with, you know, his wife and kids, and they definitely played up on that a lot. And of course, you know, they had, you know, confrontation before the event, and then they got into it, and you know, Flair eventually got stripped down to his bikini briefs and still whooped up on Steamboat here. So here we are. This is the main event. Yeah, before we get started in the actual match, a couple things. One, I had no idea who the fuck this Hiro Matsuda was. I know he was like a legendary Japanese wrestler, and you know, he's trained a lot of people. But as far as like his actual, like at this point in history, what the fuck he's doing, I don't know. Like literally, James Dillon, J.J. Dillon, was literally Flair's manager just 2 months prior to this. So I don't know what happened those 2 months. I mean, I know like the whole Horseman was kind of you know, kiboshed because the Brainbusters was over in WWF right now. So, you know, yeah. But still, yeah, it was like Flair and Windham was still partners, and they were both managed by Hiro. And then, of course, I think he also managed Butch Reed. I don't know if he did anybody else. Once again, I don't know much about NWA's history, so let me know what the fuck happened there. Like, they didn't mention it at all. Like, there was no video package or commentators didn't touch on or anything like that. The other thing is, this is, you know, one of the first times I've ever seen Steamboat as a main eventer, because in WWF he was always intercontinental, you know, level wrestler, competitor. And then of course his second run in WWF was a joke because he became a cartoon character, and even then as a cartoon character they didn't do shit with him. So and then of course, you know, he's always brought back, you know, as a legend later on down the road, but at that point I was just kind of like, he's an intercontinental guy. Like, to me, he was just I just never knew him as a top competitor. And much like I said before with Savage, how, you know, at SummerSlam '88 was the first time where I looked at him like, yeah, now he's a main eventer. Like, now I can be like, yep, he made that transition from mid-card to the main event. Same thing here. Like, after watching this match, and this is something I didn't do for Ronnie Garvin. Like, to me, Ronnie Garvin just does not feel like a main eventer to me. Here, Steamboat does. Like, I'm just looking at I mean, this match right here has like that marquee, You can put this, you know, on the billboard. You can put this on the flyers or whatever, and it's going to sell. You know, it's just money. So yeah, you know, like I said, just went to this thing fresh. The match starts off very fast-paced wrestling, like amateur wrestling, like a lot of headlock takeovers, a lot of near falls early on. Very quick-paced. The match itself, I mean, dude, these chops were thunderous. You know, you would have asked me before, I would have been like, Flair, best chops in the game. May have to go to Steamboat now. Like, I'm on Steamboat's nuts right now, I ain't gonna lie. But dude, he was just lighting Flair up. Flair spends a lot of time going ducking out to the floor. It's nothing new. I've never seen like a lot of old school Flair matches. Like WWF and then late WCW is all thing I've seen of him. And his style was a lot different back then. And of course, I mean, it's wrestling-wise, it's the same. But like, he didn't duck out that much during his WWE. I mean, he did, but not this. Like, literally every 3 moves, he rolls back out and takes a walk and shit. Like, it's insane. Like, this dude's stalling for time. Like, yeah, he can go 60 minutes, but Jesus Christ, 30 of those minutes is him walking around the ring. But no, still great. Dude, I'm really liking the NWA crowds at this point because they are treating it more like a sport. You know, when you're watching, you know, Bulls versus the Knicks, you know, there's no good guys or bad guys. You're just cheering who's doing good right now. Yeah, you know. And the same here, like, Flair gets his cheers. And, I mean, at one point, there's even the Flair chant. But then, of course, as the match progresses, it's getting predominantly Steamboat. I still like that. Like, I don't know, it just felt more like a wrestling match. It felt more like a competition, an actual sport. And once again, I mean, I've always missed that because I always watched WWF. And WWF, even though they did have their wrestlers that could wrestle, I'm not trying to say they couldn't wrestle, but they were always cartoon characters for the most part. I don't care which wrestler you pick, you know, Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, they're great wrestlers, but they're painted and they're bright and they look like larger-than-life cartoon characters. I mean, they do. And even though they put on hell of, you know, matches, it was very clear who the good guy and bad guy was. And the crowd, the WWF crowd, for the most part then, stuck by that. You know, if you're the bad guy, you're getting booed. You're the guy getting cheered. The way, you know, that's the way, you know, the perfect world is, you know. But here, it was just like, no, these are just two competitors. Like, even though one's clearly doing bad things and everyone's not, the crowd was still just like, yeah, no, Flair's doing great right now. He's the Nature Boy, you know. He's current champion here, and, you know, he's 5-time champion at this point. And, yeah, no, he's got a lot of history, a lot of legacy to him. So they're cheering him because of the man, not necessarily because of his character, his gimmick. And I like that. I really do. But yeah, no, they all hit, you know, their stuff here. Flair even goes to the top rope and hits a crossbody. I was shocked. I was fucking shocked. I was like, what? He hit. Oh, he hits it. Shit. It doesn't last long. You know, Steamboat kind of rolls through and, you know, makes a cover out of it. But yeah, still like he hits it. In the match comes when Steamboat goes for his crossbody, but somehow the referee gets in there as well, and they end up all tumbling together or whatever. Steamboat can't rake the referee. Once again, this is the first time I've seen this match, and I don't know the results. So I was just kind of like, well, Flair won this one. Because the thing is, this match is very back and forth. Like, you can't say who was the main guy. I mean, there were like judges with cards, you know, after each round. It would have been split decision. Because, I mean, that's how back and forth it was. Like, when when Flair fought Luger, those two matches, a lot of it was just Luger. Especially that first one. That first match was just pretty much Luger dominating Flair, and then Flair still win at the end. And the second one, same way. Luger dominate, the second match was a lot better, but more or less it was more Luger than Flair, and then of course Flair stills the win at the end. So this match was back and forth. I was surprised, but I just assumed Flair was going to steal the win. Because I knew it was a trilogy, so I was like, oh, maybe Steamboat gets his later. But referee's down, Steamboat's trying to wake him up. Of course, Flair attacks him, throws him over top rope, because that's a big no-no in NWA, which I think is a joke, or whatever. Goes for the figure 4, I believe, and of course Steamboat small packages him, and then out of nowhere, Teddy Long, referee, runs in. Like, he literally waits until Steamboat's about to win, then he jumps in, like almost like it was an inside job, but jumps in there, 1, 2, 3, and Ricky Steamboat, new world champion. And I was like, holy shit. I love the post-match interview they do with Steamboat, because I get the feeling that the other wrestlers are just kind of fucking with him, because he's back there. He's got, you know, he's got his belt. The guys doing the interview, and they're all like, "Yeah, here, brother." And they give him a bottle of champagne. Of course, he drinks it. They start spraying him with it. Now that's okay, but then as he's trying to talk, they're just spraying him in the face, like literally in the eyes, nose, and mouth. They're just hitting him with it. And like, dude, what should have been like a minute, 2-minute fucking promo turns into like a 10-minute, like, he's just trying to say stuff and keeps getting hit in the face. And I'm just like, I want to know, like, the story behind that. Like, were people really just, like, trying to fuck with him? Like, hey, you won the title, but we're going to mess with you anyways. But I thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, so yeah, that was the match right there. As far as the fallout goes, this, like I said, this was the first of a trilogy. This rivalry was huge. And not just at the time. I mean, this became, like I said, the stuff of legends later on down the road. Even me, not even being an NWA guy at all, I knew about the Steamboat Flair saga, you know. So they would, of course, meet at Clash of Champions, best 2 out of 3. Steamboat would retain, would defeat Flair, but there was a little shenanigans there. Flair had his foot under the rope, and of course, referee didn't see it on that third fall. And even though Steamboat won, they're like, well, we got to, you know, give him a rematch. So a rematch was set up for Wrestle War, which we'll talk about that at another episode. So overall, what do I think about this match? I fucking loved it. I was surprised at how much I liked this match. In fact, this is great. Like, this is high up on that list right now. And it's funny. Mentally, I kept trying to push it down. I was like, well, I mean, it was good. You can't. Like, you just can't suppress it. It just, every time I keep trying to push it down, I'm like, it's not good. It was great. You know, Flair put on, and that's the thing. Everybody wants to, like, shit on Flair. I'm not saying everybody. I guess a lot of people want to shit on Flair. Not really shit on, but it was like he has the same match every time. And I'm like, this is a clearly different match he had, as opposed to, I mean, even his style was different as opposed to the one that he had with Luger. Like, I just feel like it was a different, you know, whatever. Steamboat, once again, I've never known him to be a main event guy, so this was another treat for me. And this seemed legit. Like, it didn't seem like Ronnie Garvin. Or even, you know, I think Lex Luger is a main event guy. To me, this one did feel right. Like, I guess I was a little disappointed, even though, I mean, this is all retrospective, you know, it's all in hindsight or whatever. But, you know, I was just kind of like, I wish Luger could have got that win. But now I'm like, no, because this one worked out a lot better. Like, they definitely had the right mindset to, you know, keep the belt on Flair, because him and Steamboat just they knocked it out of the park. So yeah, no, I love this match. I thought it was great. If you're a fan of wrestling, you know, if you're a sports entertainment guy, you may not like this match. But if you're into wrestling, I highly recommend this match. Check it out. Damn good stuff. Let me know what you think about the match. If you have seen it, drop that shit down below. Let me know. That's all I got. Guys, tomorrow night I'll be hitting up, we're going back to WF. We're going to be doing WrestleMania 5. You know what explodes at WrestleMania 5. So, yeah, that's all I got. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And, yeah, till next time.